You're live.
Oh boy. I decided I wanted to come outside. I was going to do an interview with Tyrone. For those of you who are not familiar with Tyrone, Tyrone is a friend of mine. He's a squirrel. And as you know, squirrels live in trees. So I was going to do an interview with Tyrone today, who taught me. I'm bilingual now, I speak squirrely. I was saying, Tyrone, I'm telling him about you now. And so Tyrone told me he's doing a cleanse, and so he can't come and do the interview right now. So I decided, because it's such a beautiful day, to come out and spend some time with you. I decided to just enjoy this wonderful, beautiful day that God has given us. Yes, yes, yes. So, uh, here's what I'd like to do, and I want to talk to you about, because I've got so much in me, and it's such a beautiful day, and I always do things in the house, and so I come outside. That maybe Tyrone, if he gets a break during this cleanse, James Dentley gave him some type of cleanse, and he just said, "I can't do it now." He's tiptoeing to the restroom, like, remember Tiny Tim, tiptoe through the tulips. Millenniums don't know anything about that. Okay, I got you. Let me tell you something. I be thinking, as George Wallace would say, I've got to tell you about this. When I was a kid, I hung around my mother a lot. And so one day, uh, something happened. I got a job as a very young kid. This would have been child labor laws would have perhaps arrested my mother. My mother had me working at a very young age. And you know what the job was? Millenniums won't know about this. One day, my mother asked me. She was drinking coffee. Maxwell House was her coffee, and she turned her cup upside down, and she said, "Leslie," she and Miss Catherine, "tell me what you see, boy." I said, "What do you mean, Mama? What number do you see?" "I just see coffee grains." "No, there's a number in there somewhere. Look harder." I said, "Yes, ma'am." "What do you see?" "I see single 23. Well, 23 is not single, boy. Well, it's two numbers. But you see 23? I said, "Yes, ma'am." So Mama played the number. Now keep in mind, numbers of the poor man's lottery. This is before the lottery. Do you know they played 23 at court? I got a job. So everybody in the neighborhood, guess what? Mamie had Leslie to look at coffee grains, and he gave her a number, and she and Catherine and Mud Deer and Miss Henry, they caught. So everybody came over, and they would put their cup in front of me and turn it upside down and wait for the coffee granulars to come down the side of the cup and said, "Leslie, tell me what you see." Hmm. "I see single 5 there." "Okay, what you see on mine?" "Oh, any other numbers?" "Yes, single 6 there, and single 9. Yeah, yeah, yeah." So I would, let's say 20 neighbors came over because they're lined up for me to give them at least 5 numbers. Well, you give 20 people 5 numbers, somebody's going to catch. I'm saying this as I look back. I didn't do the numbers at that time. I didn't calculator. So they would wake me up, made me wake Leslie up so he could look and tell me what he sees on the bottom of my coffee cup. That was my first job. I think I was about 5 or 6. I didn't know what I was looking at. So everybody thought I would give them the number. Somebody called every week. and then they'll break me off a little something, something on the back end. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. Now, why am I sharing this with you? Because I train speakers and I teach them you never make a point without a story, and you never tell a story without a point. Here's the point I'm making with this story. Sometimes you need to laugh at something to distract you, because I get up in the morning and I look at my phone and I want to say, I wonder what happened today. what I mean, coming after no drama, Ababa. What craziness is going on today? And so I said, you know what? I'm not going to look to see what drama is going on in the world. I'm just going to salute the greatness that's coming in my direction. I'm going to salute happiness. I'm going to salute being joyful. I'm going to salute all things work together for those who love God and for those who are called according to his purpose. I'm going to salute, Lord, whatever I face today, together, you and I can handle it. So, on that note, let me share this with you. You are blessed, regardless of what's going on in your life, regardless of what challenges that you might be facing. Don't focus on the challenges. No. I want you to hold a vision on the other side of whatever you are facing and say, wow, I got through that. Wow. Oh my goodness. I got through that. It was challenging. I didn't know how I was going to get through it. I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel, but because of God's grace and mercy, I got through it. Why, Les? We must call forth those things that be not as though they were. You want to hold the vision of your accomplished goal and dream manifested in your mind. That's how everything that exists on the planet. First, the world was barren, but everything that exists on the planet first started in the mind. There's a vision in the mind. All accomplishment, all creation happened twice. First in the mind, and then in the without. Are you with me now? Follow me on this now. Come on now. I've used this and I use it every day. I see myself every day for 27 years being cancer free. I'm still here. You say, well, are you dealing with it? Yes, I do deal with it. Well, how can you keep the faith? Well, I learned a long time ago, a watch pot never boils. I don't get up being focused and consumed by the little C. I get up focused on what I see, and I get joyful that I'm healed from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet. How could you be joyful about that? Because I'm not taking a dirt nap. I'm still here. Stuff happens to everybody. And I've come to know at 75, life is difficult. It's challenging. And if you're still here, if you still got a pulse, if you can see, if you can experience this thing called life, even if you're in pain, that indicates you are still here. People in the cemetery don't have feelings. They ain't heard that all right? And so I find little things to bring me joy, like talking to Tyrone. We had this interview scheduled. I said, are you sure you can make it, Tyrone? He said, yes. And he said, "What's this tea that you're sipping?" I said, "Well, don't worry about it." So I had to go in the house to get something. I came back, the tea was gone. I said, "Tyrone, did you drink my tea?" "Yes." "Why would you do that?" "I don't know. I was curious." "Wait a minute. I had 3 tea bags out here. I was only putting one in the hot water. Did you put the other 2 in there too?" "Yes." "Oh, excuse me. Why?" "I got to go now. I got to go." And he took off, but making little baby steps. Tyrone, he put 3 bags in the tea. Now, I'm a person to say, take one, I'll take 3. But I didn't think Tyrone would do that. I didn't think he would drink my tea. I know why he tipped away. Can't walk real fast right now. You don't play with that tea. That tea from TLC. Tyrone. I just told him, take your time. Take your time, my brother. But it's a beautiful day out here, and I decided to come outside. He said, come outside and get some fresh air. And I have. And it's a great scenery out here. Tyrone, he leaps from pillow to pillow in terms of branches, from tree to tree, better than Tarzan. He didn't like Tarzan. How can a light expression person go in the jungle with just some real fits on and be the king of the jungle with a switchblade? That ain't happening. And talking to Lionel, bunga bunga hungawa. He didn't like those kind of movies at all. But here's what I like to share with you while I'm out here. As you look at yourself and look at your goals, understanding this, take in the little things. Just focus sometimes just on the blessings that we have, that we're still here, that God is not through with us yet, that there is more for us to do. And when we focus on joy and happiness, come on now, don't make me bring out my Al Green voice because you can't handle it. It's just enough for you to deal with my kid hairstyle. Who does this at 75 and talk to squirrels? They're going to be sending somebody for me. I know it. But I got a hiding place when I hear them. I got some alarms they will trip. And Tyrone would let me know. And then I'll hide. They won't be able to find me. But be thankful. All things work together for good for those who love God and for those who are called according to his purpose. And what got me this morning, I talked about this earlier, that I believe we're here to do to a greater work, the greater work. And so what got me this morning, when I got up and I wanted to share something with you that touched me in a special kind of way. You ever read a scripture and at one level of consciousness where you were, and then after you go through something and you revisit, you circle back and you look at that same scripture, and now you see some stuff in there that you didn't see before. Am I making sense to you? Well, so I got up this morning and I thought about this, that God is going to do a new thing in my life and in your life, and that we're in this place for some new stuff to happen. Well, when will it happen, Les? It's happening now. It's in the process now. And what we have to do is be open to the possibility. What we have to do is have a spirit of optimism. Just think about this. Isaiah 43, chapter 43, verse 19 through 21. You're familiar with it. Behold, and this is not for religious people now. This is for spiritual people. Religious people are afraid of going to hell. Spiritual people have been there. Okay, so this, I'm not trying to malpractice and getting over here in somebody else's territory. Behold, I will do a new thing, colon. Now it shall spring forth. That means that right now, in the midst of all that you're dealing with, in the midst of foreclosures, evictions, losing your job, going through divorce, facing physical challenges, going through major disruptions in your life, now. Sometimes we can just stop and park for a moment. Now, I want you to know this. I want you to just stop right there. Now, I will do a new thing now. That means that something right now, eye has not seen, right now, ear has not heard, right now, nor has entered the heart of you and mankind what God has in store for you. Because he's still in the miracle working business. Let me go further here. It shall spring forth. It shall manifest now. Shall ye not know it? Will you not know that? Not believe it. Will you not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and in rivers in the desert. Now that if your life can look like you've lost everything, that everything that appears that you've lost, that sometimes right now you have to give up that which you have right now to make something that's better, something that's greater. Now, that's a place to park, to know that. It's easy to have faith when things are working out. When you pray and the prayer that you prayed did not come through, and then say, oh, not my will, but thy will be done. Well, but what happens if his will is different than your will? Okay. Well, will you still have that faith? Will you have that knowing that even though I don't have evidence to prove this, even though I can't not point to something that will allow me to be practical and logical to come to the conclusion that things are going to improve for me right now, but I'm standing in that knowing. I'm standing in that knowing. Keep in mind that the first two times that the Jewish carpenter called Lazarus' name, they didn't say how long between his request, Lazarus come forth. They never state how long before he repeated himself. He might have walked by and said, Lazarus, come forth. And went and had lunch or dinner, played some bid whist. And 2 days later, say, anything happened? Y'all hear any rumblings or anything? No. And we weren't expecting it either. We told you he was dead. Lazarus, come forth. See, there's some stuff that's dead in your life. Some things that it has reached its expiration date in your life. Some things are in your life for a reason, some things for a season, and some things for a lifetime. And what's most important, and write this down, gaps are from God. Look, this is some revelation up in here. I'm not a preacher. I don't know anything about preaching. I need some prayer. But gaps are from God. During the time that we're waiting, that's when we must be still and know I'll keep thee in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee. Why? Because where energy flows, where focus goes, energy flows. Don't focus on your situation or your circumstances of what you don't have. No. Keep your mind stayed on me. I'll keep you in peace. You'll be grounded and rooted and have strength to grow through this rather than just go through this. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. Gaps are from God. 2 days later, he came back. Did y'all hear anything from Lazarus? No, sir. We told you. We told you a few days ago he was dead. And you came and you called him. He didn't come out when you left, and he came back again a few days later, and you called him and he didn't come out. I'm sorry, sir. I don't think we're going to hear from Lazarus. Everybody back up right now. Everybody back up, back up, back up. Oh, man, no, I'm gonna call one last time. Don't Lazarus, don't make me come in there. Don't embarrass me now. Come on now. Don't embarrass me. When we were kids, we used to hold up the stick and we would jump. And the higher the stick would go up, the further you had to go back to jump over the stick. Are you feeling me right now? When it was lower, you could just go jump forward. But what changed in the Olympics? At one time, people could only jump 6 feet high. A brother named John Thomas, he was the high jump champion in the world. But something happened. He jumped and he did something called the sizzle. That you go to the side and you jump and you can jump 6 feet, 6'1". John Thomas, check the record out. I'm not making this up. He's the highest jumper in the world, 6 feet. Then somebody, come on now, help me. Somebody came up with another technique and another strategy called the Fosbury flop. Ooh, wow. Millennials don't know about that. And the Fosbury flop, you go back further, and rather than trying to do the scissors, you come back and your head goes up first. And when he did this, it said, Lazarus. Oh, trembling and rumbling start taking place. People start scattering. Wait a minute, I hear something in there. Wait, hold a minute. Good boogle google. Well, you know what? You got problems. Good boogle google. I haven't heard that in years. Oh my God. Wow. That's what happens when you call forth your dreams that have died. When you call forth those abilities and talents in you that you've allowed to collect dust. That's what happened when people count you out and say you can't make it. And you're able to pick yourself up and start all over again. That's what happens when life knocks you down and you decide, while I'm down here, I'm going to pick something up that can get me up out of here and move on with my life. That's what happens when you keep the faith that something happens in you that allows you to rise against all odds. There's something that calls your name and say you're not a loser. Something in you that says, this is your time. Something in you that says, this is my moment. This is your moment. This is your moment. Right now. Right now. Father, we thank you. We thank you for love, for happiness, for joy. We thank you for life. We thank you for those who can hear my voice now and know ye that something is being provided for them in the wilderness. Rivers of joy, happiness, and healing is being provided for them in the desert. That you're still in the miracle working business. Allow us to know that and to live from that place of power. If you really want to know how we got here, how we woke up this morning in our right mind, Luther Barnes gave us a little hint. God's grace and mercy. That's why we're still here. I'm looking for some speakers who like to have fun, people who like to tell stories like I do, people who have a joy and enjoy this thing called life in spite of, who like to help people, who want to help our kids, who want to give them hope, who want to help people to build mental resolve, who want to give a message out of their mess. I'm looking for you. If that's you, if you've gone through some stuff, if you got a squirrel friend like I do, who will never let you down, he'll always be there, even if he's going through a cleanse, I know I can count on Tyrone to show up. He's one of my bread and butter friends. What do you mean bread and butter friend? A bread and butter friend is a person, if your car breaks down in the middle of the night and you call them, they won't ask you what time it is. They'll just ask you, where are you? I'm coming for you. To know that God is a bread and butter friend. What a friend we have in Jesus. Come on now, bread and butter friend that I can always count on to bring me through, to bring you through. Sometimes you have to know that through tears. Sometimes you have to know that and people think you're crazy. Yeah, you are crazy because you have to be out of your mind to believe that. So what do you mean? Well, let that mind be in you. If there's another mind that has to be in your mind, you got to be out of that mind, because that mind that occupies you right now can't serve you. You got to have another mind transplanted in you through faith, through courage and knowing. Let that mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. Wow. So ask me, am I running scared because of Corona? No, I'm keeping social distancing from people and the refrigerator and my barber. When he can cut my hair 6 feet away, I said, come on. Let me show you where's that. Hook a brother up. I hope I brought a smile to your face. Now you can go back and see the problems of the world. CNN, constant negative news, MSNBC, ABC, CBS. But at least you can say, you know what, Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy, we're going to send somebody for him. And I hope they give him his medication, but he did make me feel good today. He made me laugh. Yeah. You have something special. You have greatness in you. You got a dream, got a goal. You have a as Dwight Pleasure would say, an unction to motivate and inspire people. Got a story? Would like to be taught how to give us a message out of your mess? That's what I do. Put voice in the comments section. I'm looking for a few people. We just entered a class and we're starting a new one. And the classes are small because I don't want a lot of people. I want people that can identify with me. I like smiling and laughing and enjoying myself. I can teach you how to tell a story, how to use humor, how to use quotes, information, statistics, how to custom design a life transforming experience that will transform audience individually and collectively, and how to not only make a difference, how to make money through the safety and comfort of your home. See, keep this under your hat. Tyrone shared this with me. Tyrone, he uses some liquid he gets from pecans and almonds, and he's created a vaccine. Don't laugh. Pecans, almonds, and watermelon seeds. He said, "You want to try it?" No. I might do the Clorox. I'm not sure. Lysol. I'm not sure about that, Tyrone. But he just let me in on his little secret. He's been working on this, him and some other squirrels, for quite a while now. And he said he's got it down pat. And why do you believe him, Les? Well, he got sick on a Thursday night, and he was running from tree to tree on Sunday, waving at his friends. So I said, whoa, Tyrone's into something. Tyrone said, "I'm just psyching you out." If you go for that, I can sell you a bridge. Oh, behave. Put voice in the comment section. You have something special. You have greatness in you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Bye for now. What's wrong with him? I don't know. He's just happy. He don't mean no harm to nobody. He ain't gonna mess with nobody. He just a little off of that. That's Mamie's boy. You can expect that. That's Mamie's boy. He's just a little touched in the head. Yeah. Mm-hmm.